Those hometown boys are still carrying on the...
Well, at home, he was totally different. I mean, he liked to come off the road. He was a different person.
Talk with you about that?
People don't really know about it.
Before the show, he told me he knows how Ronnie Van Zant's
also survived, and they're alive and well. The story is this album, Street Survivors. It was released just 3 days before the crash, and within a matter of 3 days...
Wow. You know, tragedies or any story really out of town, right?
We didn't go much farther than Tallahassee. It was pretty uncommon for local reporters to go very far from home. I've been asked again and again how it was that we went to the scene of the crash, the woods, a swamp really, in Gillsburg, Mississippi, about 600 miles from Jack reached the wreckage. We were the only ones there.
How remarkable is it, too, Tom? Big deal.
Yes,
big deal.
a big deal.
They are friends. They are friends of ours.
Yes, they are.
Right?
Yes. But engineers at a Baton Rouge TV station fixed it for us, an unforgettable sight.
How remarkable is it, too, Tom, that the title on the album is Survivors. It includes the word survivors, and even...
Well, it's 8 o'clock in Boise, Idaho. I find my limo driver missed to take us to the show. I've done made some plans.
on October 20th, 1977.
Bowie said we could mess.
Young people who weren't even born at the time of this plane crash. When Lynyrd Skynyrd
still survives and is...
message on Facebook.
I got 600 miles to ride to do one more show.
Had extensive plastic surgery. Guitarist Steve Gaines, his sister, singer Cassie Gaines, and assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick of Jacksonville. Band leader Ronnie Van Zant was treated and released. Had extensive plastic surgery. By all accounts, the hospital staff handled the disaster well. The head doctor credited countless rehearsals, which he said prepared his people for the real thing. But for the rest of us who saw the remains of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Convair 240, gettable. You can't even realize, seeing one of these things on television, exactly what a crash of this magnitude looks like. Up there, sitting against the tree, is a piece of an airplane wing.
I like it. And
9 days have passed, just begun. Authorities still believe or was there a leak?
I don't think so.
Pipeline route. For reasons unknown,
Sounded like it run on one engine.
to a concert at Louisiana State University when disaster happened. But for the rest of us who saw the remains of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Convair 240, even realize, seeing one of these things on television,
And I've never witnessed anything before.
had extensive plastic surgery on her face.
Said you got that right. Oh, you won't find me.
When disaster happened.
Grabbed a blanket and braced myself and put the blanket over my face.
All I saw was the airplane. Never.
8 or 1, drummer Pyle. 11 or
If I leave here tomorrow.
And the members are locked
with Lynyrd Skynyrd. You'd never know that the world of Skynyrd is more like a funhouse hall of mirrors. In agreement saying there must be at least 3 original members in the band at all times. They called it the Rule of 3. Over the Rule of 3, the one man who can satisfy the Rule of 3
when disaster happened
isn't being invited.
You know, I mean, I could get really nasty and tell you all these facts, but...
Wants Whitey's Fish Camp. But I soon learned that's not going to happen. And just 2 days ago, Whitey's Fish Camp burned to the ground.
You know, so I said things in anger, even though they were true. I should have kept that to myself, maybe. But at this point, after 911 and we should get together.
Drops a bombshell.
This is the first time I've ever said this, and I would never, nobody's ever said this, but in my own opinion, for real now.
Cocaine, alcohol, lying, cheating, thieving, that was more important than the music.
Judy
described the widow Van Zandt as the, the Yoko Ono.
Opened the Freebird Cafe in 1999.
But it's, like I said, it's taken on its own life, and now it's, like I said, it started out as one thing, and it kind of evolved into something else, of books and movies and things like that. And I know this all sounds like, well, gee, we're just, it's all because, you know, we can make money. But it's not necessarily true. We can make money.
Here it is.
Come on.
I mean, is that tension part of the reason why you weren't comfortable for a few years, or?
One, he made a stunning claim. Peter took back part of his story, but Artemis Pyle lashed out, calling Billy a liar.
You know, that I was a liar and what airplane crash I was in, but it certainly wasn't the same one he was in.
Well, he really remembered it, then, you know, he wouldn't be a liar, but he's lied since.
Scared.
Once, Whitey's fish camp, but I soon learned that's not going to happen. Fish camp burned to the ground.
I almost do not want to comment on that one, that were true. That, of course, is not true, and hundreds of people know that. Anybody in that plane crash.
In 1991, bass player Leon Wilkeson woke up on a tour bus with his throat slashed.
And then stopped returning his phone calls. So Ed filed suit against Skynyrd. The case was later settled out of court. Asked him to weigh in on Gary's plane crash story.
Well, why would he do that?
Because he's a revisionist. That's why. You're out there playing, and it doesn't matter how old you are, you can keep it going. I think that's a great thing.
You really think that?
No.
You got 9 people in that band, 2 of them, and that can't ever happen.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a problem with it.
This is bullshit. He's full of shit. It's totally backwards than what was and what's happening.
Who was Ronnie Van Zant's oldest friend. Ronnie warned him certain members of the band were not to be trusted.
No, don't let Gary Rossington know a thing, because Gary Rossington will stab you in the back and cut my throat if he gets a chance. Gary Rossington would cut his throat.
Gary maintains that he and Ronnie were best friends.
Anything could be done that could do the same thing for everyone.
In Mississippi, site of the...
He's controversial. He's the real Slim Shady. Love him or hate him. Ultimate albums, Eminem's
The Road.
But even a monkey brought up in the right surroundings can learn the meaning of decency and honesty.
The right sound. By 1970, on the strength of a demo record, the band was offered a record deal, which Van Zant declined. Auspicious. Me 3 Steps had died tragically in motorcycle accidents within a year of each other. 74. The album featured the band's biggest hit single, Skynyrd. Van Zant began to ponder a more sedate, family-oriented life, particularly excited about a forthcoming gig which represented Lynyrd Skynyrd's acceptance into the rock world's super elite. Instantly, he was 29 years old.
But please don't take this so badly.
Had been released 3 days earlier. The original album cover was Orange Park, Florida, and hinted at greater.